All right, go ahead.
All right, Shalom, Shalom. We are the Hebrew Israelite Tampa, St. Petersburg, Florida. We came to prophesy the downfall of America and bring about people back to the national nationality, which is Latinos, Negroes, Native American people that consist of 12 tribes of Israel. Without further ado, I'd like to give all glory honor unto Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahawashi, by Hashem, and QADASH. Double honors the elders that teach this truth. Salutations to brother preaching the truth on the four winds of the earth.
Right.
Also, the sisters listen quiet in meekness, confusion of faces, children. So, today's lesson, we have hope and prophecy.
Right. Yeah, I said these are the days that we hope for, the days of prophecy. Right. Because once again, prophecy means to speak before. So these days were spoken before thousands of years ago, and it's happening today. Like nobody ever would have thought that you would be able to put a chip in somebody's hand or in their forehead. But that was spoken of thousands of years ago, and now here we are in the time where it's happening. So these are the prophecies, and these are the days that we hope and look for, because this means that this is actually the end of Esau society, right? But the Lord already spoke of these things. That's why we believe the Bible to be 100% true, and also the only true living power of the earth, right? Matter of fact, you give me Isaiah 34 and 16. Isaiah 34 and 16. There you go. Yeah, I don't. I like it. There you go. 34 and 16. Bible Kashab.
This is Isaiah 34 and 16. Seek ye out of the book of the Lord and read, no one of these shall fail.
Right. None of these have failed already. Hey, when we came out of Egypt, the Lord said we were going to go into slavery. We went into slavery. You know, you can look at that in secular history outside of the Bible, right? Also, the Lord said we're going to forget who we were. That's why it's called the lost sheep of the house of Israel. The Lord said he was going to put us back in our land. So who are the people living in our land right now? Right? The Lord said that a bastard shall dwell in Ashdod. That's the fifth largest city in Israel. So all those things have come to pass. None of those things have failed. So now we're talking about the prophecies that are to come. Now those things are already here and they're already in fruition. Like we've been talking about the MOTB for the longest, Revelation the 13th chapter. That's here right now. It's inevitable. I mean, you can be ignorant to it because ignorance is bliss, but you can't deny that that prophecy is already here. All right. Matter of fact, I had uploaded a video 2 days ago that showed numerous people opening doors with their wrists. I saw a dude that was at the store. He paid for his gas or whatever with his wrist. So people are already walking around with this C-hip in their hand, and they're already paying for it. And then you already got AI right now. AI is gonna put a lot, AI gonna put a lot of people out of commission because they're starting to replace you with this robots with this new technology. They even have it to where they can imitate someone's voice. They can imitate how someone look. So if you really think about it, that's dangerous because then they can try and put a crime on you, and you was never there, right? So this artificial intelligence is really something. It's really a new wonder, all right? Because this is something they never thought about 100 years ago, right? You never had this 100. You never had robots doing open heart surgery on people. You know, triple bypass surgery and stuff like that. Now you got robots serving you food and making you coffee, right? They even have robots in California that's harassing and oppressing the poor, telling them to go up the street. They got robot dogs in New York City. All those things that come in the past, all those new wonders that's written in the scriptures. Read that again.
It's Isaiah 34 and 16. Seek ye out of the book of the Lord and read. No one of these shall fail. None shall want her mate.
None shall want her mate. So there's no other book that can relate to this because the Quran don't speak about it. The Book of the Dead don't speak about it. The Enuma Elish, the Epic of Gilgamesh, the Sanskrits, none of those speak about things that are happening now or that was spoken of about before that's happening now. None of them. Because people could say the Bible been revised so many times. If you go into the Hebrew, the Greek, and the Latin, it's the same language. It's the same message that's actually being translated, regardless of how you look at it. Those words were spoken of thousands of years ago, and it's happening right now. And these are the days that we've been looking for, right? These are the days we've been looking for. Like the Lord told Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, if your children disobey me, don't keep my laws, they're gonna go into captivity. It's a book called Judges for a reason. We went into captivity under the Assyrians, under the Egyptians, under the Babylonians, under the Edomites, the Shushan palace. You also got the the cylinder of Cyrus. All of that is secular history outside the Bible that actually occurred. The Greco-Roman Empire, Antiochus Epiphanes IV, the four heads, the small horn, and the goat that's spoken of in Daniel the 7th chapter. They're talking about Alexander the Great. There's even secular history that speaks about how prophets went to Alexander and told him that he was going to rule the known world at that time. You got Pontius Pilate that's spoken of in the book of Acts. You also have King Agrippa that's spoken of in the book of Acts. You also have Caesar spoken of in the book of Acts, man. Right? All of that. You're talking about Bithynia, Cappadocia, Galatia, Ephesus, Colossus. All of those are places that Paul went to because they were Israelites were. So just because you don't seek it out and you're not willing to take the time to understand doesn't mean that it's not true or it's not happening. And that's where you that's what the Lord said. I come to bring light into the world, but they love darkness. They love to be in the dark. Let's go out to eat, drink, party. Well, that's what it said. Like in the days of Noah, what they were doing, eating and drinking and giving in marriage. Then the flood came. Same thing right now, eating, drinking, and giving in marriage. Then here comes the global collapse. Then here come the race wars.
Taking bitter for sweet and sweet for bitter.
And then, boom, here comes the RFID chip. Boom, they call martial law. Boom, here comes the thermonuclear warheads. It's inevitable. You know, it's inevitable. I heard the elder speaker, they were talking about the director. And the actor can never tell the director how the movie should go. Everybody on earth is an actor. I think it was William Shakespeare. He said, Earth is the stage and we all are just actors playing in it. Right? A lot of you people are just NPCs. You know what I'm saying? When you playing the game and you bump into a character and look at you and they just keep talking. A lot of you people just NPCs, man. Meaning that you won't even be in the credits at the end of the movie. Right? Keep going up. Right, a lot of people won't even be in the credit.
It's Isaiah 34:16 again. Seek ye out of the book of the Lord and read. No one of these shall fail, none shall want her mate. For my mouth is have commanded, and his spirit is have gathered him.
Right, his spirit have gathered him, gathered them, and the spirit is the Bible, the scriptures. Going back to YAHAWASHI, YAHAWASHI said, "I will be with you to the end of the world." So if you say I'm going to be with you to the end of the world, that's something spiritual. So right now he in the heavens. Remember he said, I will not meet thee as a man. So he come back, he got to come back in an angelic form. Right? He got to come back in an angelic form. So he's not here right now physically, he's here spiritually. Yeah, right. And that's what makes us members of the body, right? Spiritual, what it said, we are lively stones.
That's what makes it better, man. We take that for granted when you say that I will be with you to the end. People take that for granted.
Yeah, that's heavy. He said, I will be with you to the end. So that goes back to Psalm 34:7. It says, the angel of the Lord kept around about him that fear him. It's funny because you can't, it's like we live in a carnal society. It's like if I can't see it, touch it, or feel it, I don't believe it. You know, it's just, but the spirit like the wind. You can't see the wind, but you can feel it on a hot day when it grazes your skin. Or you see a tornado. Do you need to see a tornado or a hurricane to believe that the wind is there? So it's the same thing about faith. Everybody have faith that they'll wake up and there'll be money in their bank account bi-weekly, but then you're never thinking about your company shutting down. You're never thinking about you having to move back because you get foreclosure because you're so comfortable. That goes back to Capernaum, man. And like you put so much trust in the man that you really don't understand. Like you have to go to the store to buy the food, and it's illegal for you to grow it. Like, do you not understand that you're a captive? There's certain natural water sources that you can't even go to because the government controls it. But you know that you're a captive. All right, you all are just dogs in one big dog park. You're not free. You just have privilege. Shalom, shalom. YAHAWASHI, 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 that's why it's called the government, because they rule your mind. Okay. Isaiah 48:3. I have declared the former things from the beginning, and they went forth out of my mouth, and I shewed them. I did them suddenly, and they came to pass. And that's why everything is happening so rapidly. Like I'm looking at, we were talking about this in the car. Ron DeSantis. He's signing bills left and right, like he Michael Jordan at the game 6 signing autographs. Pass this bill, pass that bill, pass this bill, pass that bill. Now Florida's like a wild, wild west now, because now you can carry a firearm without having a concealed weapons license.
You probably didn't know what half of those bullet bills in the stuff.
You just sign the bill
for everybody's approval, man.
Right.
He's going for approval, man.
Right. Just like he signed a bill for the Pride Parade.
Yeah.
You had people that was trying to get. You had the Transformers. I call them Transformers. They're trying to get a GoFundMe to move out of Florida. Take your ass to San Francisco. Nobody don't care. Yeah. You know how Bud Light lost billions because they did the little collab. But this is America, though, man. All right, America. We talking about America is as an American pie, baseball, and hot dogs, right? So your prize beer, the representative was a transformer, and now all of you are like, oh hell no, we're not buying Bud Light anymore. But I mean, that's the part of America. That's the spirit. You gotta remember, what is it? What state was that? I think it was Massachusetts. Yeah, Massachusetts. Like Florida's known as the Sunshine State. Massachusetts has a motto as well. It's called the Spirit of America. But that was the first state to legalize same-sex marriage. So it's right. The Spirit of America. It was in Massachusetts, which actually started the same-sex marriage, man. That's why this place is spiritually Sodom and Egypt. They take on the same formats of Sodom, the same formats of Egypt, man, all over again. Look at the back of the dollar bill. There's a pyramid there. How come they ain't got a Buddha there? How come they don't have Hare Krishna there? This is Egypt and Sodom all over again, man. It's all spiritual. But if you're in a low vibration, you'll never know it. You'll never understand it. Can you give me Daniel 12:3? Yeah.
This is Daniel 12:3. And they that be wise shall shine as the brightness of the firmament, and they that turn many to righteousness as the stars forever and ever.
And it says, and they that be wise shall shine as the brightness of the firmament. And remember what it says, what's the light? The light is the knowledge of YAHAWASHI. He said, I come to bring light into the world, but they love darkness, right? It's crazy because you have billions of Christians in the world, right? And they don't understand that the reason why the Messiah, YAHAWASHI, was crucified, because he was testifying of the works that they were doing were evil. So how the hell can you say that you're a Christian, but then you say the laws don't away with, you say you can do whatever you want, or judge not and be not judged? I mean, last time I checked, he went into the temple, right? He flipped. We talking about the Messiah. He flipped the table, and he was whooping people with a cat of nine tails and said, "Don't turn my father's house into a house of merchandise." I guess they missed that scripture, man. You know what I'm saying? Like the Lord, he wasn't no pushover. He wasn't no mush puppy, man. The disciples was running around with swords. Like there wasn't no pushovers. They wanted to kill him because he was telling them what you're doing is wrong, what you're doing is wicked. You know, that's exactly what the Lord did. That was heavy. Because think about this as well, because we're talking about the brightness, right? The wisdom. That's what he wanted to bring. He wanted to bring the light. The wicked scribe and Pharisees, says, why does thy master sit with publicans and sinners? So for the wicked scribe and Pharisees to say that those are publicans and sinners, the wicked scribe and Pharisee says that they're not sinners. So he said, you know what? He said, those who are sick, they need a physician, but you go your way and I forgive you. So in other words, it's, the wicked scribe and Pharisees were like, yo, we're not sinners, but why is he sinning with them? But that's just the mentality, man. That's just the mentality. Titus 1:16. They profess that this is from Mashah, Yahweh's messengers. They profess that they know God, Yahweh, but in works they deny him, being abominable and disobedient, and unto every good work reprobates. Right. A reprobate is someone that's void of judgment. Well, like my grandma told me, a hard head make a soft ass. So you're going to continue to do something that you know that's not consciously or morally right, but then you're going to get to a point in your life where you can't reverse it. That's kind of like this whole manosphere thing, this whole hitting the wall thing. Out of entire mankind, the existence of mankind, women and men always got married young and they always had families and they grew old together. But now we live in a society where you can be promiscuous. So now you're going to have, what it said, the polls say by 2030, 50% of women are going to die alone with no kids. Why? Because all of their younger years, they did what? They're promiscuous, had no kids, got older, and then no man wants to be with them. So like that goes back to the society that we live in. That does not promote what the Lord said in the beginning. Be fruitful and multiply. That means to what? Have a family. Not to just use sex as a means of lust, because the only purpose of sex is to really reproduce. But everybody forgot that part. They just think about the action of it. They don't think about having sex to produce, but they just out here destroying themselves, you know. And men doing the same thing as well. That's why America is such a dysfunctional society, because the foundation of any society on the earth is families. Every foundation of every society has been based on families, and you don't have that here. And that's why it's just crazy, man. It's buck wild out here. Go ahead. Can you go on to the 4th verse, please?
This is Daniel 12:4. But thou, O Daniel, shut up the words and seal the book.
So there was a time that this was supposed to be sealed. That goes back to Revelation, the 5th chapter, where they said who's worthy to break the seal, and that was YAHAWASHI. That's why he had to be the sacrificial lamb. Go ahead up.
Even to the time of the end, many shall run into and fro, and knowledge shall be increased.
Right. It said, many shall run to and fro, and knowledge shall be increased. And how has that happened? That happened via the what? The internet. Going to Psalms, the 19th chapter. I like to say the 19th Psalm. It says the line that goeth throughout the earth. Well, you have to go online to get to the World Wide Web. The Bible been spoke about the internet. That's why the scripture said there's nothing new underneath the sun. Right. So when it says knowledge shall increase and they shall go to and fro, go to this site, go to that site, go to this site. I think it was a Rothschild that said the worst thing that they created was the internet. Why? Because it exposes so much wickedness and so much things that are in dark. They had to create something called medical misinformation or hate speech. So now they're trying to monitor the information that's being put out on the internet. Why? Because so much of their wicked deeds have been exposed.
It's a balance.
It's good and it's bad. That's why I say even manipulation is not a bad thing. It's all about how you use it. Like a child will go to a father, can I have some cookies? No. Then child will go to the mother, can I have some cookies? Yes. That's manipulation. You kind of pitting them against each other because you know mommy gonna say yeah, but daddy gonna say no, right? But then again, you have manipulation. Oh, I'm on the pill. I won't get pregnant, and then all of a sudden she gets pregnant. Now she puts you on child support. That's wicked manipulation, right? But at the end of the day, it's all about how you use it. Same thing with the internet. Are you using it for good? Or are you using it for bad? You know, somebody's ill. You go in there and find out certain herbs you can use to heal someone, or you can go on there and find out how to make a bomb. You know, same thing with a hammer. You can use a hammer to build a house, or you can use a hammer to knock somebody across the head in the temple. You know, same thing with the Bible. The Bible's a weapon too. They use the Bible to lure people in because of their faith. They'll use what they know. It's crazy what they said. They said that even the devil is an angel of God. He's a son of God as well. But the Lord did with the left hand side and the right hand side. It's all about what side that you're willing to be on. That's the difference. You can't play the field. You can't play both sides of the field. You can't do that. They don't have a dual jersey in this league. There's no dual jersey in this league. No throwbacks either. You know. Baba Gashai, can you give me Revelation, the 10th chapter, the 9th verse? Because remember, going back into what it said, every time before the Lord brought forth judgment, he sent forth prophets. And what's crazy is that they have the same book. They can read the same thing, get the same understanding, but they won't do it. So we come out and preach. They look at you, you ain't no damn prophet. I saw you working at McDonald's. Oh, I saw you bagging. I saw you on the construction site. Who the hell you think Matthew was? Who you think John was? They were regular, everyday people. The Lord, when it got, matter of fact, you had, who was it, Andrew and his brother? He said, I'm going to make you fishers of men. They were literally fishermen. And he made them one of the 12. Like, people don't understand the dynamic. When they see people, they look at the outer appearance. It was the same thing with King David. The Lord told Samuel to go to Jesse's son. He went to every son of Jesse. The last son he went to was David. He was smaller in stature, but they said he was a handsome, he was a good-looking man. Nonetheless, who was it at that time? It was Saul. Saul was the king of Israel. He was the first king over all of Israel. Saul was the tallest out of everyone. Even Saul didn't want to fight Goliath. But King David went up, and despite his stature, took down that giant. So everybody looked at King David and was like, who is this guy? But it was the spirit that was inside of him that was far greater than what you could possibly see by looking at his shell, right? His earthly vessel. That's why everything is so spiritual. Right, go ahead, Rob.
This is Revelation 10 and 9. And I went unto the angel and said unto him, give me the little book. And he said unto me, take it and eat it up. And it shall make thy belly bitter, but it shall be in thy mouth sweet as honey.
Keep going.
Verse 10. And I took the little book out of the angel's hand and ate it up.
Now, when it said took a little book, you know what they call that? It's called food for thought. Like in school, they tell you are what you eat. Then in addition, whatever you watch, whatever you listen to, whatever you read, You start to consume that. That starts to become a part of you. So when it told him to eat up that little book, it was talking about knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. Because it says in Sirach the 15th chapter, it says they will feed you with the bread of wisdom and with the water of knowledge, roughly paraphrasing. Even in Matthew the 4th chapter, it says, man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceedeth out of the word of the Most High. So it's like every day you'll wake up, you have like the best bodybuilders. They wake up, they plan meals every day. They watch their carbs, their fibers, their fats. They watch the caloric intake, how much calories they burn. So that'll make sure they maintain their physical vessel. But nobody's trying to maintain their spirit, and that's where you go. That's where you fall out. That's where you fall out. Like the scripture says, as the body without the spirit is dead, so it's faith without works is dead. So it's kind of like working out. It doesn't matter how big your calves are, your quads, your biceps. If you don't work on your cardio, your heart, all of that doesn't matter because you will die. Your strongest muscles are your legs, but your most vital muscle is your heart. So cardio is really the best exercise, but that's another story. Right? Keep going up. Verse 10.
Verse 10, that's verse 11.
We're going to let
It's Revelation 10 and 11. And he said unto me, thou must prophesy again before many people and nations and tongues and kings.
Right, so right here, the angel's telling John, you shall prophesy again to many people and many nations and kings. And that's the times right now. Going up to the elders of Great Millstone, right? They've been doing this since what, the early 90s, man. This ain't nothing new. They've been doing this since the early 90s. So you got to imagine those men going out there on the highways and byways, the early 90s. We're talking about VHS camcorders. And what, YouTube came out, what, 06? So they were doing this for like, what, 13, 14 years before the internet even like hit. So what kind of, you got to imagine what kind of faith those men had to have to go out for 8-9 hours with a camcorder and record themselves to the point where now they're on YouTube doing the same thing and this word is going out throughout the whole earth. And these men have not been getting paid for this, man. They're not getting paid for it. They're doing this by the Spirit. That's exactly, and that's what makes this so beautiful, so great, because people wake up early in the morning, they'll drag themselves out of bed, they go make somebody else rich. They don't really give a damn about you, because if you was to die in a car accident, you'll get replaced by somebody else anyway. Like, they don't understand that. Like, you give all your life to these jobs and these companies, they don't care about you. They care about how much money you can make them. Right? But we willing to go out and do this. We love to do this, man. Right? Because the reason, what provoked us to come out and do this, it's kind of like, it's like if you keep doing something and you see that there's no results, sooner or later you're gonna give up. You're like, man, listen, this is the perfect formula. But we keep coming out. Well, I've been coming out since 2013. That's when I know you, right? I've been coming out for almost over a decade. Why? Because everything that's been written is coming to pass. It's coming to pass. It's coming to pass. I get excited. I'm like, okay, let's go. Let's go. This wickedness is going to get wiped. It's going to get wiped out. It's going to bring righteousness back. You want to know why? Because at the end of the day, what's the point of me moving into a burning house? It's going to burn down anyway. Wasting my time, right? But we see the results because we can see the things coming to pass. Like one of the main prophecies, it spoke about them putting a chip in your right hand and your forehead. 2 days ago, Elon Musk just got approval from the FDA to put chips inside human beings and do human trial. Come on, man. It's here. It's what we've been waiting for. Your entire world's gonna get turned upside down real soon. Right? Your shell's gonna get busted. But like I said, the angel told John to go and prophesy again, against many people. So guess what? The prophets back then, they've been hoping for these days, man. They've been longing for these days. So remember, the things that you got to imagine this. 2,000 years ago, you see a nuclear warhead, you see a mushroom cloud, you're not going to write missile. You don't know what the hell that is. So you will say an arrow was shot from one end of the earth to another. I don't know no man that can shoot an arrow from one end of the earth to another.
That's exactly what they're going to pitch.
That's what I'm saying.
They're talking about a missile.
It's not going to say missile. It's not going to say America back then. It will say the mystery of Babylon. It will say spirits of Sodom and Egypt. Then you look at the way America's moving, like, God damn, that makes a lot of sense. But there are so many signs there. Like I said, it's playing to the righteous, but it's a stumbling block to the wicked. So they'll stumble. What they'll do, they'll see it and they'll still stumble over it, and then they won't examine it. They'll just let it be. All right, it is what it is, though. Can you give me 2 Edges 9:1-6? And this is exciting.
This is Second Esdras, chapter 9, verse 1.
Yeah, go ahead. You good.
He answered me, then said, measure thy time diligently itself. And when thou seest part of the signs past, which I have told thee before, then shalt thou understand that is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made.
Right. So he told us to measure the times. So how do you? The Lord is not saying, okay, I'm going to come back June 27th, 2043. No, there's no time like that. Even in Matthew the 24th chapter, the Lord said, he said, not him or nor angel in heaven know the time. But how do you measure the time? By prophecy, the things that are happening. That's how you measure the time. Which is beautiful. Exactly, which is beautiful. So you can't sit there and be like, okay, I got to pay my light bill on the 8th. I'm going to procrastinate and I'm going to pay it on the 20th because I got a grace period. It ain't going to work like that because you're not going to know what's going to happen. That's why it also speaks as the Son of Man. It says when he comes, he got to come like a thief in the night. Like you got to envision what's being written. He's going to come like a thief in the night. What does a thief do? They come and steal. He's going to take everything from you, all your prized possessions, all your joy, he's going to take everything from you. That's why I say when he comes back, he's going to take the crowns from all the kings. Peter doesn't have a crown. Jinping don't have a crown, but what does it mean? Your rulership. If you take a king's crown, they mean that you conquer him. Not he's subjugated. That's what it means by that. So like you have to envision that when it's being written. He's going to come like a thief in the night. What does that mean? Well, I don't know. You know what? Maybe I should get a Brinks alarm system. Maybe I should get me a little view camera when the Lord comes back. So when I see him, these people are, it makes sense. It ain't gonna do you no good, man. You can read verse 3, Bible Gashah.
Second Esdras 9 and 3. Therefore, when thou shalt be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world.
Right. Earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world. There was an earthquake, strong earthquake over by Japan. There's another earthquake over in South Africa. Another earthquake over by Haiti. Damn, 7 earthquakes so far since May 23rd have shaken Canton, Sierra Madre. Earthquake strikes Elgin after months of quiet. And the reason why I'm breaking this out because earthquakes occur every day. But just because you don't hear about it doesn't mean that they're occurring. You have tremors that are like 2, 3, 4 on the Richter scale. But you'll hear like tremors that are like 6, 7, 8 magnitude.
The bottom line is happening.
The bottom line is that it's happening.
It was spoken of, man. They say in the world. It ain't got to be right here in Central Florida.
Thank you. Yo, thank you. Exactly. Once again, just because you don't go out and seek it doesn't mean it's not happening. So Rock 13 and 13, this is a beautiful precept from Mashah. Observe and take good heed, for thou walkest in peril of thy overthrowing. Listen, that's heavy. Observe and take good heed, for thou walkest in peril of thy overthrowing. When thou hearest these things, awake in thy sleep. Like I say, a lot of people, man, they just the walking dead. They're alive, but they're not living. You know, it's like somebody put a battery in their back. Because they're just going along to get along. They really have no idea, man, what's to come. Because think about this. You have millions of people that's under your wing. Or how about this? No. Matter of fact, you have 5,000 people in your company. You know your company's tanking. Are you going to tell all your employees that the company's tanking? Are you going to tell all your employees that the stock market, that the stocks are dropping? No. You're going to start doing what? You're going to start laying off people. And they're going to start wondering, damn, what's going on? It's the same thing with America. We're talking about trillions of dollars in debt. A lot of nations in the world dropping their petrodollar. They don't want nothing to do with America anymore. They're leaving the IMF. They're going to BRICS. And you think because you can still go inside your everyday store and buy your favorite products that is you good? No, you're not good. Because the majority of the products in America are imported. So the other countries, they don't need America. America needs the other countries. You don't get that, man. What does America produces that the rest of the world desires? America not export any natural resources. They're not. Why do you think they all the other countries? They trying to put their military base there so they can take over their natural resources. They said we done with that. Watch the price of everything go up. Watch more people get thrown up. AI's gonna take over. You can walk into your job one day, you know what, we don't need you anymore. We got Sonny from iRobot in here. What? Right. Hell, it's getting to the point. A lot of these men out here who can't get play for women, they're going to get sex dolls and stuff now. This is a crazy world we living in. Why you think we out here? Just because, like I said, once again, just because you don't see it, because you don't go look for it, don't mean it ain't happening. You gonna bring it to your front door, man, like you ordered it. So that when the Lord brings instruction, you can't say, man, we didn't know God. Yes, you did know. You see no man stand out on the corner. You seen plenty of the recommendations in your YouTube videos. You saw it on IG, you saw it on TikTok, but you just bypassed it. But guess what? I'm not gonna bypass you with this judgment. That's all. That's the only reason we out here, man.
Jake got better things to do.
Yeah, I got better things to do, Lord. All right, cool. So, hey, I'm gonna laugh for your destruction when it comes. That's what he said. He said, I'm gonna laugh for your destruction when it comes.
The bag and the box is more important.
That bag and that box is more important, Lord. Hey, Lord, man, listen, I gotta make this bag. I gotta go buy the $20,000 chain to get this honey, man, that been ran through already anyway. But yeah, I gotta impress her. Get out of here. So Rock 13 and 13, that's a beautiful precept. Observe and take good heed. Oh, look, he dropping them all. Spiritual potluck over here. I like this. Think about it. The Lord said he gonna have mercy for thousands. So if there's billions on earth, they mean billions are gonna die. So I don't expect the crowd to be up here, right? So right 13 and 13, observe and take good heed, for thou walkest in peril. I just love that precept. Of thy overthrowing. When thou hearest these things, awaken thy sleep. What Jake say in the world? Man, you sleeping on me, man. Check my mixtape. Y'all sleeping on the Lord. Y'all better pick up that Bible. Proverbs 8 and 34. This is beautiful. I swear this is like a melody. Blessed is the man that heareth me, watching daily at my gates, waiting at the post of my doors. You know what that's like? It's like, you know what that's like when everybody should stand outside the store to get the J's for hours. They stand outside, they be in the freezing cold, finish line, they got their hoodies on and everything for hours just to get them J's. Man, we like that trying to get into the pearly gates, man. Lord, man, we like, man, we knocking, hey, can we get up in there? Because we tired of this shit over here. That's what we doing right now. Proverbs 8 and 35. And though I be rude in speech, not in knowledge, like Paul said. Proverbs 8 and 35. For whoso findeth me findeth life, and shall obtain favor of the Lord. Exactly, man. Right? But the first part of repentance is what? Humbling yourself. Too many people have too much pride. They, you can't tell me nothing. And then they say only God can judge me. That's crazy. I remember the elder said before, would you rather we judge you or God judge you? That's crazy. If you're really thinking about that, would you rather that we give you the judgment or God give you the judgment? Because he ain't gonna talk. He gonna send pestilence, famine, may take a child's life. That's how the Lord deal with crime. The Lord not gonna take your allowance like we would do to our children. The Lord not gonna take your PlayStation. He's not gonna tell you can't go outside. The Lord gonna send you a famine. That's how the Lord works, man. Different. But let's get back to it. We can read the next verse.
2 Ezra 9 and 4.
Right.
Then shalt thou well understand that the Most High speak of those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning.
Even from the beginning. Read that one part again about the upwards of the people.
The 2 Ezra 9 and 3.
Yeah.
Therefore, when thou shalt be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people and the world.
Right, and it said earthquakes and uproars of the people. Now we just went over the earthquake.
Remember the uproars, man.
Yeah, I got you right here.
Wade, all this crazy shit going on there. A lot of it.
Right here, he gonna want hundreds turn out in protest against proposed 76ers arena in Chinatown. I understand why. Because whenever they build an arena, they build an arena around property where the property value is very low. Like look at St. Pete, like right here, Tropicana. We from the bird, right? Well, Tropicana at before they start building this condo, let's go back to the 90s, bro, the early 2000s. Man, it was just straight hood all around there. What they're doing now is called gentrification. They're raising the property value so people like us can't live there anymore because we can't afford it. That's what they're doing. So it's like, man, we know these Negroes and Latinos, they can't pay for this. So we're gonna raise the property value and move them out. We're gonna raise condos and move them in. That's all they did. That's why these people are protesting about that stadium. Because they know that we know why you're building it, because it's gonna cause more drugs, it's gonna cause more fights, it's gonna cause more traffic, which is gonna be more revenue for them, for the people who are gonna build a stadium, but the people around it, they don't want that. And then also, protesters carrying Nazi flags and DeSantis imagery gather outside Disney World in Orlando. I'm telling you, bro, when somebody don't like you, man, they will go to the extreme. Now they're trying to put Ron DeSantis with Hitler. Like, that's crazy, bro. When they hate you, they would defame you to the utmost extent, man. That's crazy, right? Hey, I did a video on this one. Man arrested while citing Bible verse in protest of pride event. Then video evidence sinks case. That's crazy. Because he was out there, he was reading First Corinthians, the 14th chapter, the 33rd verse, where it says, God is not the author of confusion. So in other words, the Lord knew what he was doing when he made Adam and Eve. Y'all trying to say it's Adam and Steve. No, it's not. I mean, we're talking about, this supposed to be a God-fearing country, right? I always put emphasis on this. Your president gets inaugurated on the Bible, but they don't uphold any of the laws. This man just protesting, using his First Amendment to preach, and he gets arrested. Man, y'all, America's screwed, man. It's turned into a totalitarian, what they call it, totalitarian state. Democracy, my ass, that don't mean nothing anymore. You think your vote counts? No, it don't. That's a popular vote. What about the electoral vote? If nobody voted for the president, guess what? The electoral vote from the Democrats and the Republicans, they will already determine who's the president. It make you feel like you're doing something. You ain't doing nothing but wasting your time and going down there in the hot sun trying to sign up for something that don't even matter. Because every president, well, it don't even matter if they're Democrat, Republican. They all for war. They're all for the lobbyists. They're all about making money. Why do you think they got Lockheed Martin and all of that? If they don't go to war, they don't make money. It's the reason why they invade all these countries. Y'all don't get it. Like I said, America's not an export country, it's an import country. They get their money from bullying everybody, man. That's what it is. Going back to the protests. The earth wars of the people. Thousands protest crime wave in Arab town where 5 was shot dead in a car wash, man. So this is all over. Arab, down here in Florida, over there, Florida, Arab, in Pennsylvania, about the new arena. Earth wars all over. Even right here, man. Even right here in America, we're talking about the split. Can you give me what is it? Luke 6. No, is it Luke 6? Luke 6 was a no, matter of fact. Yeah, go Luke 6:24. I'm not mistaken. Luke 6:24. Because we're talking about the earth of the people. There's also a division. Matter of fact, it's Mark 3. Mark 3:24, if I'm not mistaken. Bear with me for a moment. Quick. 23 and 24. Yep.
This is Mark 3:24. And if a kingdom be divided against itself, so like that kingdom cannot stand.
Right. So if a kingdom be divided amongst itself, the kingdom cannot stand. Well, that's been since the inception of America, because you got something known as a bipartisanship, meaning that there's two parties. So there's two opposing factors of the government, right? The Democrats and the Republicans. And then it all trickled out to all these different factions. Oh, I'm conservative, right? Or I'm pro-labor. So they started to have these different factions, but it still go back to the Democrats and the Republicans. That's a bipartisanship. So if you got two different parties with two different outcomes, there's going to be constant tension, constant clashing. And you have that amongst the common people every day, right? Go ahead up.
Verse 25. Yep. Mark 3:25. And if a house be divided against itself, that house cannot stand.
And the house of Esau, it's already divided against itself. Because remember, the earth be given to the hands of the wicked. That's Job 9:24. So whether or not you claim to be, well, let me say you from England, you from France, you could be from Germany, you could be from Russia, you could be from Kazakhstan. Well, now actually some of those people might be Japan. It don't matter. You still descended from Esau, right? Because you go under the border of being called a what? Caucasian. That's what Johann F. Blumenbach came up with. He came up with the 5 ethnicities. There was never no such thing as 5 ethnicities before John F. Blumenbach. Before 1492, what tribe are you from? Who's your father? That's what everybody went by. That's why they will say, I would say, I am Ibadia, the son of Jacob, the son of Yahawah. All right, Ibadia, Banshal, Yaqua, Banshal, Yahawah, Banshal, Yahawah. Because you always go by your lineage. That's what it went by, not by are you black or you white. Man, those are Crayola crayons. What are you talking about? You can ask a 3rd grader, what's my skin color? They'll say brown. Ask a grown person with a PhD that say I'm black. Come on, that don't make sense, man. It's crazy. Go ahead up.
Verse 3 and 20.
3 and 25.
It should be 3 and 25. Now you're reading. Okay.
Hey, one more time.
Mark 3 and 25. And if a house be divided against itself, that house cannot stand.
Right. And this is happening right now. That's why America is being destroyed. Remember, the deceived and the deceiver are his. Pride has deceived Esau. They say pride goes before destruction. It's funny because if you the proud the Marines, that's America, right? Full of pride. Then they have a month for pride, which actually goes against what the Lord said, which is to be fruitful and multiply. 2 men and 2 women can multiply. Right? Together, 2 men together and 2 women together can multiply. That goes against everything. I created the earth, you till the ground, you be fruitful and multiply. So all of this is, man, I'm telling you, the world is laughing at America. They're fighting and arguing about can Transformers go in the same bathroom of a different gender. Now, this is what they're arguing and fighting about. You got people across the world fighting just to get water, clean water and food. Like this place is a freaking circus, my guy. And all the other nations are just pushing away, saying we don't want. Man, listen, you know what it's like? It's like you're so fed up with the company you're working for, I'm gonna buy out my contract. These other nations are like buying out. Like we'll pay for our own debt. We don't want anything to do with America anymore. That's exactly what they're doing right now. Like they buying out their contracts, man. So it's over, man. It's over. We're getting there. We're getting towards the end. Reading 2nd Ezra 6 and 7. Since he spoke about the house being divided, talking about Esau, Edom. Let's go right there. This how you know we at the end. These are the days that we long for, right? Because remember, the times when we was on those cargo slave ships, the times we were chained up and shackled together, right? The times that we were defecating, regurgitating, urinating on each other, our daughters, our sons, they're getting raped, they're getting hung, burned alive. The Lord remembered all of that. But see, this is the aftermath right here. America, this is it. This is it right here. So these days right here, seeing these prophecies come to pass is a beautiful thing. Why? Because we know that this is the end of his society. That's why.
He did all that just to establish this.
He did all of that just to establish this kingdom. But you know what it really is? It's really the Lord showing. Because you didn't want to follow after righteousness, I will let wickedness rule the world so you can see what it's like to not follow my laws. And this is what we got. This is the outcome of not wanting to follow the laws, statutes, and commandments. Now that we've come back, the Lord is destroying their society like he done every other kingdom that we was captives in.
Discipline.
It's called discipline. Every captivity that we've been in, the Lord destroyed that place, and there's secular history for it.
Oh, if you're in the spirit, he's doing a pretty good job, dude.
Facts.
If you're in the spirit, the Lord's doing a pretty good job of discipline.
Oh my God. It's a miracle to understand this truth, man, to have it. Because there's so many distractions here. The greatest thing the devil has ever done was make you think he don't exist. The devil make you think you don't exist or God exists. So now he make you think that you are a God, as if you created the earth, or like you're the sun and everything rotates around you. That's the word that we've come to. When it's funny because nobody on earth had any say so in the day they was going to be born. So now they speak as if they're going to live eternally. Now the scripture says pride is not made for men. One day you're going to get old. Hell, you may die before you get old. So why are you full of pride? You don't even know if you're going to wake up. You don't even know if you're going to make it home today. What you proud of, man? Right? Like I'm telling you, you got to walk. You got to tread lightly because the Lord will have it to where you go to something so gruesome. When you call upon him, he's going to laugh at you because you never called upon him in your entire life. You just thought it was you. I did this, I did that, I made this, I made that. And he'll take this and take that. And then you looking stupid. Don't call on him then, you know. You got to get insurance early. So in other words, have your faith early. Don't get insurance after the car accident. Get insurance before the car accident. That's what I'm saying. So you want to display faith when you're going through something. Well, guess what? You're supposed to have insurance before the car accident. Now the accident here, you want to get insurance. Don't try to use your faith when shit go bad then. Because the Lord know you fake because you never used it before when you was doing good, right? It's like people want to use the Bible as 911. Oh, this is the emergency. Let me go read me a proverb real quick.
Yeah, that's like
damn, man. Yeah, that's how it be. I'm feeling bad. Let me go read a song real quick. Let me go. What? Man, y'all fooly, man. Y'all so fooly. Do you not think he that made the ear can hear, he that made the tongue can speak? See? Even your thoughts, you don't think he know what you're thinking?
Wrong, man. That's the worst thing. He knows your secrets. Man.
Yeah, even though, hey, when the Lord was on the scene, when they was in their thoughts, they had evil thoughts about the Lord. The Lord, he spoke about what they said in front of them. I know that had blew their mind. They were like, oh shit. How he knew I was thinking that? Can you imagine that? You like, man, you ain't the Messiah. Yo, listen here, the works I do is of my Father. If you don't believe me, watch this. Boom. I'm gonna turn this water into wine. Like, damn, how you knew I was thinking that? Don't worry about it. Just repent. That's it, you know. But at the end of the day, man, it goes back to Esau, man, his society being destroyed. Go ahead, huh? Take care of the 6 and 7.
Second Ezra 6 and 7. Then answered and said, what shall be the parting asunder of the times? Or what shall be the end of the first and the beginning of it that followeth?
What shall be the end of the first and the beginning of it that followeth? Right? And before I proceeded, brother Mashat dropped Sirach 42 and 19. He declared the things that are past and for to come, and revealeth the steps of hidden things. We were talking about those secrets. The brother just backed you up. Beautiful precept, Bob. What's that? Ecclesiastes 42 and 20. No thought, this is heavy. No thought escapeth him. Neither any word is hidden from him. So,
no thought escaped him, man.
No thought escaped him.
Like the scripture say, the heart of deceitful all things.
The heart is deceitful and desperately wicked above all things. Who can know it? But the Lord know your thoughts. The Lord, you don't even know your whole.
So what it said, thought escapes him.
Yeah, right here. So Sirach 42 and 20. If you want to, you can plug it into your Bible. So Sirach 42 and 20. No thought escapeth him, neither any word is hidden from him. That's heavy. Remember Yahawashi said, even a thought of adultery is sin. You know what I'm saying? So you think about it, it's like, man, it's crazy, man. So and it's crazy because it's like that's how you know we need the bodies. And there's no way in the world we can be perfect in the body. King David was a man after the Most High's heart, openly committed adultery. Damn. And he was so blinded to say that when Nathan came up to him with the parable about the poor man that had one sheep, and there was a rich man that had 100 sheep. The rich man took the poor man's sheep. King David said, let's go and find this rich man and take, let's punish him. He said, you are that rich man, referring to how he took Bathsheba from the man. You're a King David. Why would you take another man's woman? So that parable Nathan threw at him, like, wow, it even blew David's mind. Like, you're the rich man that took the poor man's sheep. In other words, you took that man's wife when the Lord could have gave you any other woman. Right. That's what Nathan told him. That's heavy, man. That's so deep.
That's something heavy that's going on in society.
To this every day. To this very day.
The next man, woman, man.
Right. It's like 7 women to every man.
Those are the
Why would you do that?
Those are the easiest women to get. A woman that's already taken. It's hard to get a single woman. But
that's true.
She got options. She's available.
But really, most adultery happen at the job because you're around these people 40 hours out of the week. You're around strangers that you start to know.
Right. The job is the worst place.
Yeah, so that's the worst place because they're having adultery. That's why women and men, that's what be working together. Must be women working with women and men working with the men.
Attention is triple night to a woman.
Oh yeah, attention is air to a woman. Attention is like air to a woman. If you take attention from them, they'll suffocate. That's why you see so many women on these social media sites taking all these glam photos. Oh, this is what I'm eating. Oh, this is what me and my dog is going today. Oh, me and Sher, we're gonna meet up and have tea. They love those clicks and views, those likes and those subscriptions, and they love that. They love that. Why? Because they want the validation from men. But because we're not looking for the validation, we're not of this world. We haven't conformed to this world. We have something different. We have a different caliber. You want something different, man. Because these people are so vain, if they acknowledge you, it's like, damn, why are you acknowledging? Look, confusion. Landon confused. He had to direct him. Go the other way. Go ahead.
This is 2 Ezra 6 and 8. And he said unto me, from Abraham unto Isaac, when Jacob and Esau were born of him, Jacob's hand held first the heel of Esau.
Yep. So that's symbolic of us pulling out Esau. In other words, we chatting down Babylon, right? And when when I was reading on what was that, second Ezra 9 and 1, it says he answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself, and when thou seest the time, see as parts of the signs past, which I have told thee before. Then shalt thou understand it's this very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. And one of the first things that I thought about was Elon Musk. Elon Musk, right here. Elon Musk's Neuralink has FDA approval to put chips in human brains. Here's what's next. So this is how we measure the time diligent. How these prophecies coming to pass. Let's go back to Revelation, the 13th chapter, y'all. In your right hand or in your forehead. It's already here. It's not on a grand scale. It says Neuralink has gained approval from the Food and Drug Administration to begin trials to implant brain chips into humans. Elon Musk co-founded the tech company in 2016. He hoped to begin trials this spring. Interest in the private company recently drove its valuation from $2 billion to $5 billion. So if they invested $3 billion more, they mean that they're going to go through with this. They're going to try and push this on the people. But that's something we ain't got to worry about. Can you please give me I think it's Proverbs 18 and 2. No, Proverbs 18 and 2 about the shop. No. No, matter of fact, go to Psalms 18 and 2. It might be Psalms 18 and 2. Right, because this is a wicked device. We're talking about being like God. That's what Paul said. He said the man of perdition. Man, that ain't it. But matter of fact, go to Psalms 37 and 7. I think it's 37 and 7. Come on.
This is Psalms 37 and 7. Rest in the Lord and wait patiently for him. Fret not thyself because of him who prospers in his way, right? Because of the man who bringeth wicked devices to pass.
Right. So the Lord said, fret not of the man that bring wicked devices to pass, and the man that but it says he prosper in his ways. So remember, I just read in the article where Elon Musk had what, $2 billion invested, and now that it's been FDA approved, they've given him another $3 billion to go through with Neuralink. So now he can do trials in humans by putting chips in their brain. That's Revelation the 13th chapter. You can't make that up, man. That's why we open up with Isaiah 34 and 16. It says, seek out the book of the Lord. No one of these things shall fail. And that has not failed. That's happening right now. But that's what the Lord said, fret not of those who bring forth wicked devices, man. This is Job 5 and 12. He disappointeth the devices of the crafty, so that their hands cannot perform their enterprise. See, there are already people that already got it. But remember what the Lord said, because you kept the patience of my word, I will keep you from the hour of temptation that shall try the whole world. That's why COVID-19 was just a test trial to see how reluctant are you going to be to allow me to put a foreign substance inside your body, right? And then they were forcing you to not go and provide for your family if you didn't have a certificate, or if you didn't get the CD, the C-hip or whatever, the shot or whatever. And now there's so many cases of people dropping dead that had these boosters, right? You had coroners that's been dealing with decomposing bodies for over 3 or 4 decades, and they said they have never seen it at this rate of so many blood clots of people dying from. And they said over like 90% of the people who died from blood clots also had booster shots. Come on, man. Come on. So you can say it's misinformation, medical misinformation, whatever. At the end of the day, you've been exposed, man. But the Lord's going to disappoint your the devices of your craftiness. Okay. This is what I want right here. Proverbs 12:12. A good man obtaineth favor of the Lord, but a man of wicked devices will he condemn. These are going to be condemned for trying to force us to take this, man. But through the Spirit, we're not going to take it. The elect not going to take it, man. The Lord said, "My servant shall eat, and you shall hunger. My servant shall drink, and you shall thirst." So remember who his servants are. In Revelation the 7th chapter, the Lord told the angel, "Hurt not the earth or the sea, till he have sealed his servants 12,000 out of each tribe." So that's 12,000 times 12, 144,000. And then there's also an innumerable number, an innumerable multitude. Because not only would it be 144,000, it will also be the confusion and paces, the Israelite foreigners all around the world and also here, right? Like this Israelite at my job, if you look at him, you may think that he might be Caucasian, but if he start talking, he sounds like a straight Mexicano. Matter of fact, he kind of got the Canelo look. He kind of like Alvarez. He got the red hair and everything. He start talking, he sounds just like an insect, like a Oompa, man, like a Romano. He got the swag and everything in the talk, but he just looked like he could be Caucasian. That's why the Lord said to be carnal minded is death. You can't be carnal minded, man. It's all about the spirit, man. You got to go by the spirit, because you can offend one of the little ones. You got to go by the spirit, man. You know. But nonetheless, though, you have anything particular? If you want to bring out that Revelation 18, yeah, let's bring that out. Because this is also another sign that we're looking for as well, man. Right. Because whenever you have something that's filthy or polluted, you have to cleanse it. So the first time the Lord cleansed the world, it was with water, like it says in 2 Peter, the 3rd chapter. This time he said it's reserved for fire, because fire is also a cleaning agent. Right? Exactly.
And that last hour will do that.
Right.
I will like never before. This is Revelations 18 and 17. For in 1 hour, so great riches has come to naught.
Right. So in 1 hour, so great riches has come to naught. Last time I checked, I done the calculations. It takes an ICBM, intercontinental ballistic missile, to get from Russia to New York in like 30 minutes. That's half an hour, right? So in 1 hour, so good riches shall be brought to naught. Go ahead up.
And every shipmaster and all the company and ship and sailor, and as many as tread by sea, stood afar off.
And many that tread by sea. Think about this. What happened during CD? Wasn't it CD-19? Remember they had all those ships on the west coast of America just sitting out there, tallying up. They were tallying up the fees for sitting out there. A lot of their product wasn't even coming out on the shelves. A lot of shelves were empty and bare. You can't make this up. A lot of goods get transported by sea, and that's what it's talking about. The ship masters, the shipments that America receives from all the foreign countries. Go ahead up.
And cry. Revelation 18 and 18.
Right.
And cried when they saw the smoke of burning, saying, "What city is it like unto the great city?"
Right, because it refers to America as a great city, because America is a place of opportunity. Like in the early 1900s, there were people that would jump on boats and they would sneak on the boats to come to America, because they said they heard the streets were paved like gold, paved with gold. But they come from the scriptures, because they pretty much was referring to America as a heaven. But at the end of the day, you come here and it's full of vomit, fecal matter, dirt, spit, and cigarette butts and trash. And no, it's really what it is, man. Right?
Revelation 18 and 19. And they cast dust on their heads and cried, weeping and wailing, saying, "Alas, alas, that great city, where were made rich all that had ships and the sea."
They said that great city where men were made rich. People come to America to get rich, and then guess what they do? They send money back home. That's why America, the value of the dollar is depleted. And they're taking so much of the dollar out of its own circulation here, that when the more they print, the more value that it loses. Then on top of that, the price of living itself, just the commodities, all that's going on. Because the price of fuel is going up, right? Because they dictate that. Pretty much like oil is like liquid gold. It's black gold. Without oil, what the hell can you do? You still need oil for your car, for your trucks, for your hydraulic systems, for the machinery that you use to operate and function to produce the products. For your caterpillar, for the construction, you need oil. You need that. So all the other countries, man, they understand what they're doing. The OPEC, they know what they're doing. Saudi Arabia, oh man, they really threw a monkey wrench in America's works, man. Because Saudi Arabia was an ally of America, but now Saudi Arabia is not allies with Iran. So now the enemy of my friend is now befriending my friend, who now my friend is now my enemy. Stop it. Somebody make it make sense to me. If it ain't dollars. That's what's happening. Go ahead up.
At last, Warren made rich all that had ships in the sea by reason of her costliness, for in 1 hour is made desolate.
Right, in 1 hour is made desolate. How is it going to be made desolate? Via the ICBMs, intercontinental ballistic missile. You know, at one point, it was like 3 months. They just kept talking about going nuclear, going nuclear, going nuclear. See, they don't really talk about it anymore. But I swear, the spirit of YAHAWAH is so heavy. There's a movie coming out called Oppenheimer. Who was Robert Oppenheimer? Robert Oppenheimer is known as the what do they call him? The father of autonomy, or some of atoms, or the father of nuclear arms. Because Robert Oppenheimer, he was there when they did the tests. When they did the test for the atomic bomb, he was there. He said there were people that was cheering when they saw the mushroom cloud. And they said there were people that were crying when they saw the mushroom cloud. And Robert Oppenheimer, he used a Hindu Sanskrit where he said, "I have now become the destroyer of worlds." That's what it's talking about right there. When it says in 1 hour, so great riches shall be desolate, shall be brought to naught. That's exactly what it means right there, man. And Robert Oppenheimer, he was the one who said that. He said, "I have become the destroyer of worlds." Right?
In the second Ezra 16, it says, "Woe be unto Babylon and Asia, woe be unto the Egypt and Syria. Gird up yourselves with cloth of sack and hair, bewail your children, and be sorry, for your destruction is at hand."
Right. It says Babylon, it says Syria, and it says Asia. And then go back to Moab. And the brother was talking about that last night. Brother YARAMYAH GABAR. He said Moab is my wash pot. Because as of right now, economically, China is like at the top, but they're going neck and neck with India. A lot of people are sleeping on India's economy. India is a very, very large country. India has over, if I'm not mistaken, over like 1 billion people, just like over there in Asia. So they are soaring right now economically. So when it says Moab is my wash pot, China's really the one that's kind of dictating the market right now. And then they're also linking up with Russia, which Russia invaded Ukraine after America and the NATO tried to make Zelensky a part of NATO. And so, see, Russia was like, "Listen here, we hear y'all talking, that's fine." Once Putin heard them say they was thinking about putting nukes on the border of Ukraine and Russia, that's what made them infiltrate. Nobody's talking about that. Of course I would. Imagine if Mexico and Russia, right? They became allies, and Russia, people said, "I want to put nukes on the border of Mexico, United States." The entire world would be in the uproar. But y'all want to do the same thing to Russia, then y'all gonna say, "Oh, he's evil for protecting his own country as well." Man, y'all crazy. Y'all crazy, man. That's the only reason why they invaded Ukraine right now. And on top of that, Ukraine had what, 30% of the world's wheat. So if you want to have a big army, don't you got to feed your army too? Man, this is chess, not checkers. Y'all really don't know what's going on in the world, man. This is real war, man. It's all about resources. You know?
This is 2nd Ezra 16 and 8 and 3. A sword is sent upon you, and who may turn it back?
A sword is sent upon you, who may turn it back. Because it's no such thing as flying swords, right? But we're talking about what Ezra's envisioned. So he saw something in the sky that looked like a sword, which was a missile.
When it's fired out, is what Halo? What's called Halo?
Huh?
Shiloh.
Yeah, Shiloh. Yep, it's shot out of a Shiloh. Right, go ahead.
A fire is sent among you.
Shiloh. I said Shiloh. Shiloh. I'm sorry.
A fire is sent among you, and who may quench it?
A fire is among. So a sword is going to produce fire. What? Go ahead.
Plagues are sent unto you.
The plagues are sent unto you. Remember what it said. This is the plague against the whole world that fought against Jerusalem. It said, your flesh shall consume while you stand upon your feet, your tongue in your mouth, your eyes in your head. That's in the Bible.
And that's
so what
I had to follow that up.
Sarah Connor or Terminator 2 at the fence. That's in the Bible. That's the plague it's talking about. Come on, man.
What is he that may drive them away?
So what is you that may drive it away? That's like once you fire a bullet from a gun, you cannot change the path of the trajectory. You can't stop that bullet from going. So once you let off a nuke, you can't stop it. It's going to take its path of trajectory. All thing you can do is counter it. But they have hypersonic missiles now. And there have been generals in the Air Force that said America's surface-to-air defense system is trash. You want to know why? They put so much money into their infantry and into their technology with their drones and whatnot that they forgot about protecting home base, because that's the part of America. Oh, nobody will never invade us. But hell, they got hypersonic missiles that you can't even detect that in the sky now. Now, how are you going to protect home base? Think about it.
I'm gonna read the effects. I'm gonna jump to Zechariah and read the effects. Zechariah 14:12. And this shall be the plague wherewith the Lord will smite all the people that have fought against Jerusalem.
Right.
Their flesh shall consume away while they stand upon their feet, and their eyes shall consume away in their holes.
Right.
And their tongue shall consume away in their mouths.
Right, man.
That's the effect from those nuclear heat.
That's gonna be the effect, man.
That what can't be turned back. What's guaranteed?
Guaranteed. Fast.
Yeah,
Brother Mashak John. Hey, Mashak been rocking with us. Psalms 46:6. The heathen raged, the kingdoms were moved. He uttered his voice, the earth melted. Heavy. The earth melted. Facts. Desolation. Eradication. Right? Or obliteration. How many more synonyms do you need? Right? Psalm 97:3. A fire goeth before him and burneth up his enemies round about. Verse 97:5. Psalms. The hills melted like wax at the presence of the Lord, at the presence of the Lord of the whole earth. And that goes back to what was on Mount Sinai. So where the actual mountain is, at the very top, the entire top, it's pretty much, you would think that someone just carved out the entire top of the mountain. And I think they say like no vegetation can grow there, right? Because of the sulfur. Same thing that happened to Sodom and Gomorrah, you know.
First Peter 4:18. And if the righteous scarcely be saved, where shall the ungodly and the sinner appear? Exactly. That's all about being delivered, because we are escaped by our works. Okay.
Right, because it said, "Where shall the sinner appear?" If we scarcely be saved. And when I think about being saved, I was thinking about Daniel and the lion's den, Meshach, Shadrach, and Abednego when they was tossed into the fire. Like that's called scarcely being saved, man. Like by the hair in your chinny chin chin. Because remember, there was a decree put out, and Daniel said he wasn't going to follow it. So Daniel, he faced the east. He prayed toward Jerusalem 3 times. That's where the Muslims get it from. That's where the Muslims get it from. Right. Go ahead, bro. Yeah, close that piece up. Yep.
This is 1 Corinthians 51 and 52. Behold, I show you a mystery, or shall not all sleep, but we all shall be changed.
Sleep is another word for death. So we shall not all die, but some of us shall be changed. But even YAHAWASHI said it, St. John 8:51. There be some standing here that shall not see death. Right?
In a moment, in a twinkle of an eye,
In a moment, so it's gonna happen instant. Like instant transmission on Dragon Ball Z or something, or like Nightcrawler, X-Men, instant, right?
at the last trumpet,
At the last trumpet, and remember the trumpet goes back to the judgments. That last trumpet is gonna be what? The ICBM. That last trumpet spoken of in Revelation, man. The lake of fire. Go ahead.
for the trumpet shall sound, and the dead shall be raised incorruptible, and we shall be changed.
And the dead shall be raised incorruptible. Who? Those who died in YAHAWASHI, and we all shall be changed. We shall all be changed. Man.
For the corruptible must put on the incorruptible,
Because we are corrupting these bodies. Remember, even Paul said it. He said, he said, that which I would do, I do not, and that which I would not do, I do. He said, there is no good thing that dwelleth within his body. He even said, oh, wretched man that I am. So, I mean, there's no, even the scripture says, no man can say his heart is pure. You can't. Especially when the earth is overrun with wickedness. Hell, even you can be exposed to something that's wicked, and you may just hate it, but you already been exposed to it. Your heart, your mind's already been tainted. It's kind of like sometimes somebody will show me something, I'll be like, man, I can't even see that, my guy. Don't show that to me. It'll be some funny shit. I'm like, I can't even see that. Like, it's like, man, how you got a homie looking like that in that photo, man? That's crazy, you know what I'm saying? So, like, you see wickedness, you can't unsee that. You know?
and this mortal must be put on immortality.
And the immortality goes back to this wisdom. So, what's going to turn us into being immortal? By obtaining this knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. That's the most important thing.
Close out. So when this corruptible shall have put on incorruptible, and this mortal shall have put on immortality,
Right.
there shall be brought to pass, saying that is written, death is swallowed up in victory.
Death is swallowed up in victory, right? Go ahead up. No, keep going.
55, O death, where is thy sting?
Death, where is thy sting?
O grave, where is thy victory?
O grave, where is thy victory? Go ahead.
The sting of death is in sin,
The sting of death is in sin,
and the strength of sin is in law.
and the strength of sin. So the law gives strength to sin. That's why we're not under the law, because what are the wages of sin? Death. But the Lord did not give no man license to sin. So we're under grace. That's why we're rehearsing the righteous acts. But because we have repented, and this is the perfecting of the saints, the Lord said that we will not die. Because remember, Paul said that all of us shall not sleep. So that means that we'll get a new body. And in a new body, the Lord will instill the laws on the inward part, which will be the new covenant. We're not in the new covenant because we still sin to this day. Right? Wisdom of Solomon 8:17. Now when I consider these things in myself and pondered them in my heart, how to be allied unto wisdom is immortality. Come on, man, that's heavy. Ally yourself with wisdom, and that will give you immortality. That's crazy. But no, it's not. It going back to Adam in the beginning. If Adam would just do what the Lord said, he would have never died. Sin was brought in, and then that brought forth death. That's heavy. So that's why he got to put the laws in the inward part. So there's no way you can be in the second covenant. So when the second covenant is, the Lord said you won't have to teach man anymore. So there's no way you can be in the second covenant if you still teach. Doesn't make sense. Shalom, shalom, the Kwame. How about Shema Shai? About Shema Kakanash? All right. So yeah, so we're about to close out. We want to give all honor, glory, and praises to Yahawah, Hashem, Yahawashi, Hashem, QADASH. Double on side others at Great Millstone, seeking unto the elect. Peace and blessings to the 1/3, and to the confusion, the faces, and the four corners of the earth. Shalom, shalom, shalom.